Howdy. Welcome back to Dion Talk. Never rent to people who ask these 3 questions. Why would you care what questions somebody asks you? And this video is intended for landlords, but I think this video can help you if you are going to rent. Because I want you to understand the psychology of these 3 questions so that you can use it to make your experience better, whether you're the tenant, the applicant, or the landlord who's going to be renting to somebody. And the question would be, why do we care what questions someone asks? To me, is explained by, why do we care what questions the landlord asks, right? We have an application process which usually checks credit score, criminal history, eviction history. Some people care about what you make or where you work. Those are questions that we use to vet or to limit our risk of having a tenant that could potentially make us go through a prolonged eviction, trash the property. It's a vetting process. But these are the questions that the applicant asks that are giant red flags, or what I like to call my kink, chasing those red flags. That's why everybody calls me the bull. These are some red flags you might want to avoid when you get asked these questions. And Cody, thank you for the super chat. I like it because it also proves that this was recorded live. So you get to see what's actually in my head and not what was researched or written down. And Cody, if you want to see Cody in person, this might not work so much in Futureland, but November 23rd at the Robin Hood Resort. If you look up multifamily strategies, you will find out there's an event. Millennial Mike, myself, Cody, Christian, we're presenting at and would like to hang out with you. But when you put up a listing for a rental, if you self-manage your properties or if you're a tenant, these are the questions that kind of tell us what you're thinking. The first question that is the biggest red flag to me, there's 3 major red flags. And at the end of this video, I'm going to talk about 2 things. 1, my new face tattoo, and 2, the perfect Christmas present to get for everyone you know. I see Facebook posts often, and I think it's what I'm going to make as the thumbnail for this video after the live stream is over. And I get text often from people who reach out who know I'm a landlord. So this isn't a question that happens during the application process. This is when people know you have properties. And if you ask this question, I want you to understand the psychology of this. This is for the tenant, the applicant, or the landlord. I see Facebook posts often, or I get the text messages. Do you have any units available? Or does anybody know of somebody who has a unit available in this area? Never, ever rent to somebody or say, sure, send me their contact info when somebody reaches out for a friend because they're looking for a space. Because what this tells you is 2 things. 1, they don't qualify for all of the places that are available in that area that are listed online now. Or 2, they don't want to pay market rents for all of the places that are listed in that area currently on Redfin, Realtor, Zillow, Apartments.com, Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. There's tons of places available to rent in most areas. So if you're in the one part of the world where there's no rentals available, maybe it makes sense. But if you can pull up Zillow in your area and filter through rentals and you see dozens, or in my area, hundreds, and somebody's reaching out saying, hey, I have a friend looking for a place to rent. Do you have any available? Absolutely, sure, let me look. And then no. You don't have to be rude to your friends and say, no, I don't rent to friends or family or friends of friends and family. Just know that renting to that person means they're either not going to be qualified or they don't want to pay market rents. And why would you have a rental that you want to rent for less than market rents if it's having a tenant turnover? The second one, and this is a red flag that tells you usually it's a professional tenant, meaning they understand the system and they're going to take advantage of you and they're going to make you go through an eviction or they're always going to be late with their rent and have a reason. It's if during the application process somebody asks you, do you self-manage or do you have a property management company? Because a property management company is an office worker who has a set rules and guidelines that they follow. Somebody who self-manages, they're looking for how far down your sleeve do you wear your heart and how much can I stomp on it before you take any actual action. So if they ask you, do you self-manage, that's a major red flag. And if you are a renter looking for a person who self-manages, you understand. It's because you know you can't walk all over the property manager. And people will say, well, I hated my experience with my property manager. They actually held me accountable to the lease. Well, no screaming eagle dookie. That's what I'm going to do as a person who self-manages. So I don't want to rent to somebody who was looking for a self-managed property so that they could try all kind of shenanigans. The third thing, and this one pops up often, and it's easy to fall for this trick. When this question is popped, I've seen newer landlords jump on it like this is a good thing. They go, oh, absolutely, I can make more money. When a tenant or an application says, hey, I need to move in really quick, is that possible? Like tomorrow, is it available? The faster somebody needs to move in, the more likely they are to mess up renting from you because they've messed up renting where they're at. Or let's say they have a domestic issue and they need to move fast. I totally get it. You want to be Captain Save-A-Ho or Save-A, what's a Captain Save-A-Guy? There's got to be a thing for girls. Let me know what it is when they are always trying to fix the person. It's not your problem to solve everyone else's problems, and you don't want to risk your rentals when you have a smaller portfolio that you're self-managing. There are plenty of larger rental places out there that can take risks on people. When somebody needs to move ASAP, it means they're probably getting kicked out. They are probably not leaving with enough notice. They're doing all the things, kind of like if you're interviewing for somebody for a job, you say, did you give 2 weeks notice where you left? Well, did you let your last landlord know you're moving, or are you leaving today? And they don't even know before the end of the month that's going to be a vacancy. So these are three main things I want you to think about. The first is, do you have any units available? Is somebody that's looking for a place that they don't qualify for and don't want to pay market rents? Do you self-manage as somebody looking for somebody that they can walk all over? And can I move in as quick as possible? That's a red flag. And I see that's the one people fall for, because you think, okay, let's say I had a unit available today. It's the, why does my phone not say what day it is? I got another date. I think it's a weekend, right? It's a Sunday. No, that's tomorrow. My actual birthday, not mine, but the Marine Corps birthday, tomorrow. Real birthday. So today's the 9th. And you want to rent out December 1st. And somebody reaches out and says, hey, is it available? And your place is available. And they say, but I need to move in now. So you can go, okay, well, if I wait till the 1st, I can screen through my tenants, I'm going to lose all this rent for November, but then I'll have a qualified tenant as of December 1st. Plenty of time to find a tenant. And then somebody says, but I got to move now. I got to move tomorrow. I'm in a hurry. And you think, I can prorate the rent, right? $2,000 rent for a 2-bedroom unit. You prorate it. Utilities, rent, you charge it, you divide it by 30 days in November, and you go, I can make this much more money every day by letting somebody in a hurry who's going to end up being a problem tenant in the future. That doesn't mean I haven't had people prorate and move in on like the 20th or 25th and say, well, I have more time to move, so there's an overlap of my rentals. I have time to move out and I have to be rushed. Or the last one a couple months ago moved in on like a Tuesday because that was their weekend and they could move. You can work around people's schedules, but it's those people in a serious hurry. So the face tattoo, which I sent to my kids and they had to take a second because they're not the quickest, is a tattoo on my face of John Cena fighting a Klingon bird of prey. And then the perfect Christmas present for everybody, since that's coming up next month, is this thing right here. I will pin a link in the comments. This is a flashlight, right? Because you never know when you're going to need that. And it is also a communications enhancer that functions very easily, doesn't require cords or any kind of adapter because it comes with its own plugin. And it is sold directly from Amazon and can be sent right to the people you're getting the present for. That is what I want to use on the tenants that I got before I knew these 3 questions, because now I know. Things we learn. It took time for me to figure out. Somebody wanting to move in quick is not good for me because I can make more money. It's bad because I get a tenant that's going to have problems in the future. Somebody who wants to rent a unit that's available, I now know it's because they didn't qualify and because they didn't want to pay market rents. And are you self-managing your rentals is code for, can I take advantage of you? If you want your questions answered during a live stream every Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific, I do live streams that last as long as the questions do. Ever rented to a tenant who thinks they are a lawyer, JMS? A few, absolutely. Those are professional tenants. They think, the best one is, you're not allowed to ask me if it's a service animal. No, I am. There's actually 2 questions I'm allowed to ask you. I've never asked them because I just allow service animals because I don't care. I allow pets in all my rentals. But yes, there are people who think they are a lawyer and they want to The problem with this, have a good lease. And the more lawyer-like they are, the more lawyer-like you can be. The less adjustments you need to make to the lease, because the more they want to be held to the lease, the more you can hold them to the lease. So if you want your questions answered, I will see you Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. I hope you have a weekend full of amazing. And remember that they put Veterans Day, so veterans can be hung over the day after the Marine Corps birthday. Have a week full of amazing.